Few gestures are as instantly recognizable as the military salute. A hand raised sharply to the forehead, a straight posture, and a moment of silent respect. It's simple, quick, and often done without a word. But behind that small gesture lies centuries of history, tradition, and meaning. Whether in movies, military ceremonies, or real-life encounters, the salute carries a sense of honor and discipline. But have you ever wondered where it came from? Why do soldiers salute in the first place? And how did such a simple movement become one of the most respected traditions in military culture? Today, we're exploring the fascinating history behind the salute and why this centuries-old gesture still matters today, right here, on History of Simple Things. The exact origin of the salute isn't completely clear, but many historians trace its roots back to medieval Europe. During the Age of Knights, warriors often wore heavy armor and metal helmets with movable face covers called visors. When two knights approached each other, especially in uncertain situations, one would raise his visor using his right hand to reveal his face. This showed peaceful intentions and proved he wasn't hiding his identity. It was a sign of trust. By exposing the face, the knight was essentially saying, "I come in peace." Over time, this act of raising the hand near the head evolved into a symbolic gesture of respect among warriors. Even after armor disappeared from battlefields, the custom remained in different forms. One important thing about the salute is that it's not meant to show weakness or surrender. In fact, it's the opposite. Historically, the salute became a way for soldiers to acknowledge each other's honor and service. It's a gesture exchanged between professionals who share responsibility, discipline, and loyalty. In many militaries today, both the junior and senior soldier return the salute. That's because the gesture represents mutual respect, not one-sided obedience. It's a reminder that every soldier, regardless of rank, serves the same mission and wears the same uniform. As organized armies grew in Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, military customs became more formalized. Soldiers often wore large hats, and it became common practice to remove or tip them when greeting officers. But constantly removing hats became inconvenient, especially during drills and combat preparation. Eventually, soldiers began simply touching or raising their hand toward the hat instead. That small motion gradually developed into the salute we recognize today. Different countries developed slightly different styles. The British military, for example, traditionally saluted with the palm facing outward, while the US military evolved toward a palm-down salute. Despite these differences, the meaning behind the gesture remained largely the same. You may have noticed that salutes are almost always done with the right hand. There's a historical reason for that too. For centuries, warriors carried weapons in their right hand because most people were right-handed. Showing an open right hand demonstrated that you weren't preparing to attack. In other words, raising the right hand became a visible sign of peaceful intent and respect. Even today, military protocol usually requires saluting with the right hand, unless there's a physical limitation preventing it. In modern military life, saluting serves many purposes beyond tradition. It helps reinforce discipline, professionalism, and structure within the armed forces. On military bases, salutes are often exchanged when greeting officers or during formal ceremonies. Soldiers salute the national flag. the raising and lowering of colors, and even during the national anthem. But interestingly, saluting in combat zones is sometimes discouraged. Why? Because constantly saluting officers in dangerous areas could reveal who the commanding officers are to enemy forces. This shows that while the salute is symbolic, practicality still matters in military operations. Not all salutes look exactly the same. Around the world, different military traditions have shaped different styles. In the United States Army and Air Force, the palm usually faces downward. In the British Army, the palm faces outward. The French military also uses a palm-down salute, while naval forces in some countries angle the hand differently. There are even unique salutes outside the military. Scouts, police officers, and certain ceremonial groups have developed their own versions inspired by military customs. Despite the variations, the core meaning remains universal: respect, recognition, and honor. Over time, the salute has become more than just a military gesture. It has entered popular culture and public life as a symbol of patriotism and sacrifice. At military funerals, salutes honor fallen soldiers. During ceremonies, they represent gratitude and remembrance. In films and television, a salute often marks emotional moments of loyalty, farewell, or courage. Even civilians understand its meaning. You don't need military experience to recognize the seriousness and dignity behind a salute. That's because gestures often communicate emotions more powerfully than words. And few gestures carry as much history and meaning as this one. Some traditions fade over time, but the salute has endured for centuries. Why? Because it represents values that still matter today: respect, discipline, trust, and service. For soldiers, saluting isn't just about following rules. It's about belonging to something larger than themselves. It connects modern military personnel to generations of soldiers who came before them. In a way, every salute carries a piece of history. It's a reminder that military service isn't only about strength or combat, it's also about honor, responsibility, and mutual respect among those willing to serve. So why do soldiers salute? What began centuries ago as knights lifting their visors eventually became one of the most recognizable military traditions in the world. Over time, the salute evolved from a practical gesture into a powerful symbol of trust, professionalism, and respect. It may seem like a simple movement of the hand, but behind it lies generations of tradition and meaning. Because sometimes the smallest gestures carry the deepest history, and that's the story of why soldiers salute. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.